Hello, BookTube. It's a hot, humid day here in Boston, and I've got a bunch of mail for you. One of the packages is a little odd. It's floppy, which ordinarily wouldn't make it odd because I sometimes get, unbound manuscripts, but this one's big and floppy. So I don't know, maybe it's from one of you. But we'll start off with the ones that are recognizable and see what kind of trouble that gets us into. So this first one is a finished copy. Oh, great. Okay. The publisher sent this to me. They mentioned this. This is Spies and Traders, Kim Philby, James Angleton, and the friendship and betrayal that would shape MI6, the CIA, and the Cold War. This is Spies and Traders. Interesting. By Michael Holzman, who was born in Brookings, South Dakota. And is the author of James Jesus Angleton, The CIA and the Craft of Intelligence, biographies of Guy Burgess and Donald and Linda McLean, and the novel PAX 1934-1941. And he lives in New York. This is coming out in tomorrow. It's coming out on Tuesday, the 5th of October, in a hardcover. So what have we got here? This is a brilliant expose of how Kim Philby, the master spy and notorious double agent, became the mentor and later mortal enemy of James Angleton, who would eventually become the long-serving chief of counterintelligence for the CIA. Philby and Angleton met working at the Office of Strategic Services, OSS, an emerging U.S. intelligence agency in London during World War II. Philby was a leader in the British counterintelligence efforts, first against the Nazis, then against the Soviet Union, and Angleton was the newly commissioned officer in the counterintelligence division of the OSS. Philby soon became a tutor and mentor to Angleton, and the pair stayed friends for 6 years, until Philby was exposed as the KGB's most valuable double agent, so highly regarded in Russia that his image remains on postage stamps in the Russian Federation. After his exposure, his friendship with Angleton fell apart, and the two became enemies for the rest of their lives. Okay, so I'm going to assume here that the author is going to catch you up on Kim Philby. I'm assuming that that's the case here, and that you're not going to need to know anything more than what I just read in order to get to the heart of this. I'm assuming that's the case. I'm up for it. Absolutely. It's a fascinating story, fascinating larger-than-life personalities. See, I'm not fighting with storage space here. I've got all the storage space in the world here in Little Book Room to put things. When I'm angled like this, when I'm angled on the other end of the room, then there's nowhere to put things. Let's see what this next one is. Oh, it's a novel. It's going to be a paperback original. It's coming out at the end of October for $18. This is Born of a Woman by Frank Boyus, translated by Lara Vergnaud from, I'm assuming, the French. Is this another work in translation? Good Lord. Yes, translated from the French. Okay, Born of a Woman. Okay, we've got lots and lots of praise, blurbs, and whatnot. But what is the book about? This comes out at the end of the month. When he's called to bless a body at a nearby asylum, Father Gabriel also receives a strange demand: steal the diaries that will be hidden under the dead woman's dress. Within them, he finds Rose's haunting and somehow still unfinished story. Timed for the Halloween season, this book is at once an astounding work of Gothic horror, an indictment of class and poverty divides, and an examination of the limits of forgiveness and familial love. It garnered high praise and literary awards when originally published in France, and now it's out in English. Now it's out in the American book market. Interesting. Okay, so more spooky season reading. Gothic. What does that diary say? What is going on with that hidden diary, and who sends the father the note in the first place? Very interesting. Okay, and this comes out right before Halloween, so the end of the month. Okay, so we've got a little nonfiction and a little fiction. What is this next one here? Another finished copy. What have we got here? Oh, great. Okay, we saw the advanced copy of this already. And now we've got the finished copy. Lots of paperwork. Great, fantastic. I still haven't gotten to the advanced copy, so this will be the kick in the pants I need to do that, because this is coming out in a week. This comes out on October 19th. This is The Last Emperor of Mexico by Edward Shawcross. The dramatic story of the Habsburg Archduke who created a kingdom in the New World. I think most people don't remember or don't know this story. I've never heard it. The fateful tale of Maximilian, emperor of the Second Mexican Empire, provides a fascinating look into the peculiarities of 19th century international politics. Seeking a stronger foothold for French imperial control in the New World, recently destabilized by the dissolution of the Spanish Empire into independent republics, Emperor Napoleon III decided to organize an invasion of the debt-ridden Mexican Republic under the presidency of Benito Juarez, and to install his own supporter as head of Mexico's government. He chose Maximilian, younger brother of Emperor Franz Joseph I of Austria and a Habsburg Archduke from one of Europe's most prestigious dynasties, and his wife Carlotta, a Belgian princess, to become Emperor and Empress of Mexico. The plot did not go according to plan. Not Napoleon III's, and certainly not Maximilian's, who was eventually captured and executed by Mexican Republican forces. Maximilian was not the first emperor of Mexico to be executed, but he would be the last. Fantastic. All right, well, I feel a little guilty now that I haven't got to this, because this sounds absolutely wonderful. But now I have the finished copy, and I've still got a couple of weeks, so that will go right on the TBR. And then we have this next one. This is the one I was talking about that is sort of floppy. I don't know what this could be. I guess it could be from a publisher if it's a bound galley of something that. No, who is this? Who is this from? No notes or anything inside it. Oh no, it looks like it maybe comes from one of you, because it looks like it comes from a used book distributor. What on earth? Is there a note inside this thing? No, there is not. Well, anyway, this is by Rex Ziak, and it's called In Full View, a true and accurate account of Lewis and Clark's arrival at the Pacific Ocean and their search for a winter camp along the lower Columbia River. I'm a huge fan of Lewis and Clark, huge fan of their diaries. What have we got here? We start with a quote. If Meriwether Lewis had turned and taken 5 steps away from William Clark, the two men would scarcely have been able to see each other. So begins this fascinating and compelling narration of the final month of the Lewis and Clark expedition, the struggle to reach the Pacific Ocean and find a winter camp. This must be a gift from one of you. The 30 days from November 7th to December 7th, 1805, have been the least researched and least understood chapter in the Lewis and Clark story. Only a gifted local historian and lecturer like the author, a lifelong resident of the lower Columbia River, could bring together all the relevant information about the region, meticulously connect it to a close reading of Lewis and Clark's journals, and then present their new research to the reader in a narration that vividly brings history to life. Fantastic. So when did this come out? 2002 this came out. And I guess one of you must have... Oh, wow. Oh, this is... Okay, so you get excerpts from the diary, but you also get, let's see here, archival photos, and also enormous amounts of full color photos. Just a beautiful, beautiful Lewis and Clark volume. Fantastic. Oh my! All right. Well, this is why it was floppy, but and it's not from a publisher, but I'm overjoyed to have it. That's for sure. Then we'll do this last one, and then we'll be done for today on this hot and humid Monday in Boston. Oh wait, now this next one. Oh my! Now that I fiddle with it, this next one does not feel like a book either. Oh, what's going on here? Do we have a note? No? What on... Oh no, it's not a book. Is this a present from one of you? Let's get the... It's very well wrapped. Publishers don't do that, so this... Oh, no. Oh, no. This is a present from me. Now don't yell. Okay. Oh my. Very nice. Some of you may know, if you watch this channel, that I have a sweet tooth for tech. I love me some tech. And I just happened to be browsing around online the other day, and I found a $15 7-inch tablet. And I thought, well, I'll buy that for $1. I thought, for $15, I would be curious to know what I will get. the seller assured in their notations that the thing does work, that it's not broken, it's not parts only. It's $15 just because that's what they wanted to sell it for. It's a 7-inch tablet. I didn't know it was going to come in a protective case. Very happy that it is. And there it is. The reason, I wonder how easily it will come out of this thing. The reason why this is a $7 tablet is because it's a Walmart tablet. This is an ONN 100 or 1000, something like that, or ONN 10. I forget the exact model number here, but it's a tiny little thing, fits in the hand, only a little bit bigger than the biggest iPhone, and I wanted to see what I could do with it. I know nothing about it at all. Came with its power cord, and it came with this case, which is articulatable, so you can set this up and watch it. You can set it up and play something, and it will be standing upright. I wonder if it has power. Shall we test and see if it has power? So what have we got here? There is the power button and the volume control, and that is probably a microphone. Then at the top we have there's a headphone jack. I don't really know what that is. Probably the charging port. The left-hand side has nothing. And no, the bottom has the charging port. So is that maybe a micro SD card? Can this maybe? That's usually a drawer of some kind. Well, I'll have to figure out what this is. Probably someone online will know. But I wonder if it has any power. Let's give it a try and see if it has any power, or if I have to charge it. It has power. Now, I did this because it was a lark and it was dirt cheap. It was $15. But what I really want is for you to send me your tech. That's what I really want. Search through that cabinet that has all the wires and all the extra laptops or tablet devices that you don't use anymore. Take them out, sort them by the power cord, because I'm going to want that too. Factory reset the device so that it's wiped clean of your information, then pop it in an envelope and send it to me. That's what I want you to do. Oh wow, no, this works just fine. This is looks like a full battery charge. So I am going to take half an hour right now to set this thing up and see what it can do. It's a nice size, fits in the hand. It's a different dimension. It's taller and thinner than, for instance, an iPad mini or an Amazon Kindle, the old Amazon Kindle Fire. It's a different configuration than that, and I kind of like that. It's very easy to hold in the hand. So I'll have to see if Walmart put or Target or whoever sold these things, if they put some sort of a skin over this, if they put some sort of a light wash of an operating system over it. I'll have to see, in other words, if it needs to be rooted, if I need to go online and figure out how to change this into just an absolutely functional Android device without anybody's proprietary stuff on it. I'll have to see if that's the case. If there's very little proprietary stuff on it, then I guess I don't mind. I'd rather, even for $15, I mean, with $15 you're not risking much, but even for $15, sometimes rooting a device can kill it, and I don't want to kill the thing before I've even used it. So if the proprietary skin on this thing isn't intrusive, I might just leave it. But my main goal is going to be to see what kind of a reading device this can be. I'll try it for everything else. I'll see how it works for YouTube and Instagram and all that sort of stuff. I don't do gaming, so I won't have to figure it out that way. And I'm not going to film anything on this thing. But my main concern is going to be, how good a device is it for reading? Will it load, for instance, the Apple iBook Store? Will it load the Kindle app? Will it load the Nook app, the Barnes & Noble Nook app? Will it load the Kobo app? I'm going to want to know all of that just to see that once I find out the extent of how I can load this with books, then the next and only other question will be, what kind of life does it have with a battery? I'm kind of curious what that thing on the top is. There's a symbol next to it that I can't quite make out, but I bet that's a SIM card slot. I bet that's an SD card slot to put in extra memory. I've just never seen it up by the camera like that. But it can't be anything else. What else could it be? The power port is down there. So, and that the headphone jack is clearly marked, so it has to be that. And if that's the case, I'll wonder, what can I put in this? How much will it take? I'll give this thing a nice, thorough workout. It'll be a lot of fun, and it has a nice, durable case to it. The clasps that hold the thing in, I've never seen this quite this way. They twist around like that. So when the device is locked in there, it's going to be nice and solid, but it's going to be very easy, literally with a flick of the wrist, to get it out of there, because the clasps that hold these corners are slightly elastic. So you can stretch them just a bit to sit the device in, and they'll just snap right back and hold it. I wish more devices did that. That would be wonderful. Imagine a setup like this. The same kind of elastic straps, only these things are one piece instead of a bracket and transparent. So it would literally look like the thing is just floating there. That would be wonderful. But I'll take this, absolutely. All right, so there you go. That is the mail haul for today. The only way that you're going to stop me from buying old, cheap tech is to send me yours. So you could perform an intervention. Feel free to go to that cabinet and find your tech that you're not using and send it to me, where I would give it a good home. But aside from that, so we have tech, which could have 1,000 books on it by tonight. Then we have In Full View, the very last part of the Lewis and Clark expedition. We have The Last Emperor of Mexico in a finished copy. We have Born of No Woman, a novel. And we have Spies and Traders, about the fallout between Kim Philby and a protege. So there you go. That is the mail for this hot and humid Monday. And there might be more mail coming, but if there is, I'll just sit on it and we'll handle it all tomorrow. So I'm going to wrap this up for now, but I will see you soon. Thank you, BookTube.